One thing that doesn't change here in Cannes is the obsession with stardom, causing a stir even among the ultra-sophisticates of the French film world.
Hello, I'm Zach, a film reporter at Deadline, and welcome to our Cannes studio. Today, I'm joined by filmmaker Roberto Minervini, the director of The Damned. Just to start off, this is your first fiction feature, right? I wondered, why fiction now?
Well, in truth, I've been always lingering in this limbo between documentary and fiction. But I think fiction right now was the tool that I needed to make some links and connections between the state of America today and perhaps where it all started in terms of, the fragility of this democracy and some of the precepts there, kind of at the foundation of Christian America, or even masculinity in America and other subjects touched by the film.
So it wasn't a difficult transition, really, or was it?
No,
Between fiction and...
No, it wasn't. I think for me, reenactment, the performance of the self, creating links between moments of observation that were fictional. So using a language that actually, was flirted with fiction was always present in my films.
You've made films in contemporary America, many. You've been acclaimed for your documentaries in the Deep South, and I wondered, why now jump to a period American piece? And what it was moving from contemporary to period America. What were some of the things that you noticed?
I think some of my documentaries have been kind of a prequel to what was to be. I think of The Other Side and with the paramilitary organizations, and then what we saw on January 6th, 2020 in America. I think of what you're going to do with The World's on Fire, that just comes a few years before George Floyd, and perhaps now, after years of working on the field, and it's been hard work, and perhaps for me was a moment to almost like pause, take a break for a moment, and look back. And again, as I said in the beginning, just look at a point in history where it all started.
You're, of course, born in Italy, and it's quite rare for European filmmakers to work so prolifically in the US. And I wondered, why is it so interesting to work in North America for you?
It's America. It's America. It's just it's really a myriad of communities and ever changes, the boundaries of which are ever changing, and yet, the rarely blending. We could say, there's a strong division. I don't even have to be so redundant in explaining. There's a strong division and perhaps sometimes unfillable gaps, among some of the communities, some of the realities in America. And that is something that I don't find with the same. Sometimes violence, sometimes, you could use that term in my country of origin, and of course that is the biggest, the thing, the kind of leitmotif of me living in America, me as an American import, is just to always, trying to figure out how to make a leap, between the gap that just separates these communities, like, and maybe my intention, my wanted to just sometimes bridge those gaps, just me, walk to the other side all the time, and just that visceral desire is what brought me to really, making films about the gaps themselves, really.
And I'm thinking about the subject matter of the film. I thought a lot about how this will be received in the US, particularly as somebody who's coming in to sort of make a film about the Civil War and their past. And I wondered, how do you think it might be received? Are you nervous about that? Do you think it might be controversial?
I really have no idea. I do think that, again, just gauging this divided opinions about the Civil War, like many other things, people might feel resentful about a filmmaker, in a way, an outsider, which I'm still considered at times, like bringing back a topic that is dear to them. And then others who feel that perhaps, the Civil War should not even be, talked about anymore. And so I don't know, but I'm seeing, I'm receiving first feedbacks, I'm reading about it, and I could see that, there is a response, because in the end, I've been called a humanist as a filmmaker, and the focus is really on the singles, on humanity there is in the stories I tell. And I think that probably that element differentiates this film from others, which is not this is not an historical account. This is not status quo. So I think that, at least in certain America, will be appreciated.
And do you think you'll continue to work in fiction, or are you going straight back to docs? They scared you away.
Who knows? But I do think that this is an interesting path to start from something fictional and yet referential to history, referential to politics, ideologies, and then perhaps work very experientially, putting my characters into a situation that feels that it's their own, no matter how remote in the past it is. So that is the fiction realm I'm exploring right now, and I think there's more work to be done for me.
Roberto, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.